Hey, living in Boulder vlog for June 9th, 2020, Tuesday, 2:41 p.m. So, yesterday my video had got cut short because my fiance called me. I didn't think that was going to happen, but then all of a sudden. So, and I didn't want to splice it together because I forgot how to do it with iMovie. And when I tried it last time with Adobe Premiere Rush, it just didn't work. So fuck it, I ain't gonna fuck around no more. Stuff don't work first time. I'll just upload the video. The more important thing is that you do a video a day, and I've been slagging on that. So talking with my eyes closed because sometimes it's hard for me to maintain my train of thought. I just had like a whole bunch of these. I should have more. I done got these the other day. Got some marijuana candies, and I got my marijuana. So, yeah, I'm done. I think I'm done. Like, I did a sweep through of all the ancient timelines, and I think I did a good round of first editing, and it wasn't just the animals that I put on with the images. So now I'm gonna go through again, and I'm gonna put fonts to the animals, and borders have the animal font name the same for the text on the border. If I decide later I don't like the border, you can tinker with it later as long as it's consistent. You just change the style of the font that that the CSS is connected to. And so I just decided, because I didn't have the font mat of the CSS of the table matched with the font. I was using the mammal one for all of them, and so I changed it on that, and I'll change it on the others for this main one, and then get going on the animals and just add a font to the animals, and because what I just did was adding the font to location, and then boldening the date and putting the date in the right place and editing and the words out and down, but now I'm going to do the font for the name of the animal and the border. And then there's other common things. I think those will have their own fonts. For example, extraneous information is just going to be left alone. But like, niche, ecological niche. And, well, there were others. There's other informations in there. Yeah, anyway. But when I'm doing the border font, I think I'm just going to do it around the TD, though, the inside, because I could do something around the outer border, the main border, later, if I decide to put another one for if I want to identify the clay that it's inside. There's so much you can do with all the fonts they give you with Dreamweaver for the tables, what you can do with the tables, and then the text and the background. Between all those, you could create a code for that could match all the different meanings of the information in the paleontological record, and do some really good condensing of the words to fit all the information into a small space, so you don't have to rely on drop downs for anything. It's just speed reading. When you're a speed reader, you just get annoyed with the drop downs because you read them all anyway. You'd just be hitting them, all of them. So it's better to just have everything prepared from the get go. So yeah, that's what I'm just about to start now. I figured I'd do my video first because I usually have been doing them too late. Yeah, I found a really good, I was listening to Aaron Raw channel, but then I found another really good one called Connected Us podcast, and now they have a YouTube channel. I think they recently started putting their podcasts on. They're called Common Descent, and these two dudes talking about really interesting stuff and a lot of good information about different paleontological stuff. They're vlogs are usually an hour and a half long, but the first half hour is I'm talking about news, so I like to fast forward just to the subject, but you kind of have to drag around to know where it is because they don't say where it is in their description, but that's interesting. I want to do a bunch of those, and then sometime when they mention something interesting, I'll do it on Wikipedia. But yeah, I'm definitely learning a lot just from the construction of my website. I haven't decided what fonts to put for the Earth stuff, which I have a lot on there. So maybe I'll do that later, or maybe I have. I actually did. So I could add that to everything. Okay, so this will take at least a week. What day is it? Because I thought that was going to take a whole week, and I'm on Tuesday. Oh wow! So maybe by the end of this week I'll be done with all that. That'll take it up a lot. I haven't decided. Yeah, I haven't decided if I want to, on the vertical part of the timeline, have it divided between different like orders and stuff, or if I want to throw it all together. But I'm going to put it all up there divided on the top part, and that'll give you an idea of actually how I want to have it look in the bottom. I think I am going to divide it, but not yet. I'm going to add all the different fonts first, and then divide it, and then add the rest of the animals, I think I can. I think my web design is going to work for maximum size, The speed reader, see, I'm thinking about it in terms of a speed reader. A speed reader would hunger for more words. I mean, if a book is 500 pages and you want to speed read through the whole book, like why the hell wouldn't you shy away from just writing everything in the fossil record, and it would still be less than 500 pages, like the size of a book, but that's a whole period of time. So I think it's worth it. This is stuff, someone might be like, why are you taking up so much time to do this? Is it worth it? And I'll be like, well, history is history. Once history's done, it's set in stone, it's over. There's no editing to it, Well, actually, they're discovering a lot more. I think they said they've only found like half the dinosaur species so far, but so there is editing, but it's something you can. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it all at once now anyway. I would edit it as I go along, but it's not something that when you build it, they're going to do an update or change it, and then you have to change it. History's done. So if you build, even if you spend your whole life building a history timeline about ancient history, it's still there forever, and it'll never go out of style. It'll never, in 500 years or 1,000 years, people look at my timeline, and they'll never go, oh, throw that in the bucket. We don't need that. No, they'll look at it and they'll go, oh, okay, put that in the library, because that's a map of history, or at least a map of history as they knew it then. So it's but maybe that's another argument for why it's good to not do the drop downs, because I've done drop downs, and if the people who run the way that HTML is written, all of a sudden your drop down doesn't work. I want to keep it simple, so my website doesn't all of a sudden like bit by bit stop working as they change what the HTML code means. That doesn't happen. Maybe they could maybe if they do that, they can invent a program that could automatically update it. I don't know. Anyways, just babbling. Yeah, so anyways, I've been eating these. Maybe I'll have another one. I have to pick my mom up at 5:30. I took her in today to do surgery on her hand. So yeah, maybe I'll have another one. I just smoke a little bit more wafer and then get on here, adding up the things. And it's great. I love doing this brain candy stuff because I can give like all of my attention to what these dudes are saying. They're tripping out like, oh, that's trippy. I want to like follow along. And if you follow along and you trip out over it, you're like, whoa. Like then that gets in your head, All you need for that memory to come back, that knowledge of history that come back, is to be put in the same context and be, oh right, yeah, I know that. Boom. So that's the idea, is to know everything. And anyways, then the test is going to be my timeline. That's the live test. Anyways, enough talking. Talk to you tomorrow.